This episode of The Gamer and the Noob is brought to you by The Switchbit. Check out The Switchbit on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for all your gaming news, music, and more.
I can game with you, play when we want to. I can game with you, the gamer and the noob. I can play with you, game when we want to. I can play with you, the gamer and the noob.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Gamer and the Noob. I'm Sam. I'm the gamer.
And I'm Steph. I'm the noob.
And here we are, once again, talking about all things gaming from two different perspectives. The perspective of the gamer and the newbie, the noob, the new person to gaming. Getting it from all sides. So let's talk about games. What have you been playing, Steph?
I started playing Yoshi's Crafted World again.
On the Nintendo Switch?
Yes.
Okay. So you played it before to completion.
Yes.
But-
Well, there's like an extra bonus level that I haven't gotten to.
Like a bonus world?
Yes.
Oh, you haven't done that yet?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want it to end.
So what are you doing then?
I'm going back and playing all the levels and trying to get better scores on them.
Better scores and do all the objectives and the Poochie levels and all that?
Yeah.
And then...
Or until frustration. There's a couple that I can't get everything on, and so I was moving on, and I'll circle back.
You'll come back to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get that perfect.
What did you call me that one time?
A completionist.
A completionist.
Yes. So you have to go back and try to 100% every level, 100% the game. That's what Chris is. I'm not. I was at one point.
Yeah.
When I had the time to be a completionist, last time I feel like I had the time to be a completionist was back when I was like 14.
Yeah.
You know, like there's one notorious game. So back in the N64, there's a bunch of like platform games. Rare is a company that I just adore. They were a Nintendo company, and then Microsoft bought them. So then they started making games for the Xbox. Brands that started with the Xbox 360. No, started with the original Xbox, actually. Anyways, I digress. They were notorious for making what people called collectathons. So, essentially, a collectathon is exactly what it sounds like. They just made a bunch.
Are you saying collect-a-thon?
Yeah, like a marathon
Okay.
of collecting garbage.
Okay.
And that's what it started out with in their earlier games. Was like collected 100 of these in every level. Well, by the time like Donkey Kong 64 came out, you had like 6 different characters, and every character you had to collect 100 of for each character in each level. I mean, it was ridiculous proportions.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, but I like 100. Well, more than 100. You can get 100%, and then like there's like extra objectives you can do, like 102% or 103. I can't remember the exact number, but like that was me at one point in my life. But now, I mean, you know, there's too many games, too much stuff, too much life.
Yeah, I feel like your take on games at this moment in time, like me, I'm like, go to a restaurant, order a meal, and like you go to a restaurant, get the buffet, you know?
Yeah.
Like you like to sample all the things.
Yeah.
Which I totally get, but you know, you're excited about so many games and they're all so different, then you want to try a little bit of everything.
I feel, part of this is going to go into kind of what I was going to talk about, one of the games that I was going to talk about, but I feel almost like a pressure to do that, not extrinsically, but an intrinsic pressure of, like, now that I have, like, 1,500 Twitter followers who follow me because of video games, and, like, my YouTube is doing better, and I have a website, and this podcast, and, like, everything, I feel like I need to be up to date. I've always had that compulsion to be up to date, like, even back in, like, the 90s when I was reading video games left and right, or video game magazines, rather, left and right. But now everything's so immediate. Like, a game comes out, and if 3 days later you're talking about it, it's old, So, like, this need to stay relevant, that's something that I battle with, I guess.
Like inside?
What?
You said that's an intrinsic thing?
I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of extrinsic or exterior motivating factors, but I really just think, like, that's because I'm thinking that way,
Right.
Because as somebody I see there that I follow on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, they're talking about a game that came out like 2 or 3 months ago, Like, I don't care. I'm still going to listen to it, you know, but in my mind, it's like, I got to keep up or whatever. So it's hard for me to delve into just one thing. I've been really trying hard, like the Disney Afternoon Classics games you've seen me playing, you know, like those are old games from like the 90s. Who cares? Nobody's talking about that game. Nobody's talking about that collection that came out, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm just going to stop, and that's what I'm going to use my time to play.
Somebody out there loves it.
Yeah. A lot of people do.
Like you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people like me out there that love stuff like that. But
well, even I had that reaction to Aladdin when you said that you were going to get the game Aladdin. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a game I actually played when I was little. I didn't play many. But I was watching you go through all the levels, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that.
Hey, you played some too?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm so glad that game is a rewind feature. We should play that together.
Okay.
Yeah. On a stream.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So okay, are you gonna 100% Yoshi? Is that your goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So are you waiting until you go back and do all the things, and then you'll play that last bonus level or whatever? Bonus world?
Probably not.
No?
No, because I am very motivated to see what it looks like.
Why didn't you just jump right into it?
I don't know. Why are you the way that you are? Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good reason for that. That's true. I'm going to go back and play that probably soon just because I want to see what it looks like. But it's fun going back to play levels that I played last year. Like at the beginning, you know, a year ago now, I think. At least it's close, but it's fun to remember all those beginning levels that felt so like difficult and challenging at the time. And there was actually a level that I was playing yesterday, and I remember I couldn't figure that out the first time. I was like, Sam, I don't know what to do. And I had to hand you the controller and just watch you do it. And you just instinctively knew what to do because you understand games and stuff. And it wasn't so much that I remembered it. I just realized how to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I felt like growth. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. A year later.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. I was really excited.
So how long are you going to play this game for?
Listen, I don't know.
Because like video gamers, they will play the game, they'll beat it on to the next one. Or they'll just throw in their backlog and pretend they're going to play it someday and never do, like me. So it's a weird concept to play a game for a year.
Yeah.
But you're not really a gamer, so.
Well, and it's not like I played it for that long.
Yeah, you pick it up, put it down, go to other stuff, come back to it.
But I kind of don't know what else to play.
Yeah. Well, I have a whole
it's not for a lack of games. I just don't know which one I'm gonna like.
That's true.
Because you've downloaded several things on my Switch, and I've tried out a couple of them, and I just can't really get into them.
There's a couple games that I downloaded that would only be good if we played together. Like they would be too complex at this time.
Well, one of those was one that I tried, and I was like, I need your help.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, you shouldn't try to play that by yourself. And I'm like, oh, thank you for telling me.
Other games like Puzzle Quest and stuff like that, you know, I think you'd really enjoy. That's one that I downloaded recently that I really fell in love with. There's different difficulty levels and everything. Like I think that would be a really good game. It's a puzzle game, like, you know, Connect 3 or whatever puzzle game, but it has like witchcraft and wizardry and knights and all that kind of stuff. And there's like a narrative to it. I really do think you would enjoy that. And I need to play it as well. I bought it because it was on sale, and it was something I thought that we both could, you know, enjoy. It's a good like before bed game. Anyways, you been playing anything else?
Not recently.
Ding Dong XL?
I've taken a break. Because, you know, with that game, you play it and you end up dying very quickly a lot, but then you get this break where you beat your high score. And it's like, I liken it to what my dad describes golf as, because my dad always talks about golf as being like a game that you just can't win at. And I'm like, then why do you play? Why do you want to go out? And he would always say that it's for that one shot. Because typically when you go out, you'll hit one amazing shot. And it's just chasing that feeling of like what it felt like to make that one hit, and then it goes exactly where you want it to go. That's kind of how Ding Dong was, but then like I couldn't catch up to you on Duel.
Yeah.
The dual mode, and like I definitely couldn't even start to catch you on Infinity, like even after all your tips and stuff. And I wasn't beating the next person on the solo mode either, so just taking a break on that.
You gonna come back to that?
I'm sure I will.
Yeah,
I'm sure I will, but a little break is good for, you know, my sanity.
So you're just chasing like all the like the bad, all the deaths and all the bad, like just highlights the good that much more. Like,
yeah.
Like I've worked so hard for this and died so many times, and oh, it finally happened, and it makes it that much more like I respect that. Anything else?
Nope.
No, nothing. All right, we gotta change that. We're playing some games this week. So I've been playing Dauntless. Obviously, you know that's something that I've been playing pretty much since it came out on Switch.
I see you playing that a lot.
Yeah, it's less lately. Honestly,
yeah,
like I was playing it a lot more, and obviously when I make a song about it, you know that means that's a game that I've spent a lot of time with, or I really enjoy. Speaking of which, that song will be at the very end of this episode. Did I mention I'm also a video game rapper? So stick around to the end of the episode if you want to hear my Dauntless song.
That's my favorite song so far.
Oh yeah.
Easily, like I could listen to that in my car.
Thank you. Yeah, it was the most fun to make because, you know, I got to do 8 different styles of rap and 8 different characters with 8 different voices, and you know it was definitely a creative challenge, but like I think that's what made it exciting. So, but yeah, that'll be at the end of the episode if y'all want to listen to it. But I've really like kind of toned down on playing Dauntless. Chris isn't playing it as much, so he's not on. He was, on every single night, and I would play with him quite a bit. Colt, I feel like, you know, he's hit or miss on that too, kind of like I am. So
what happened to Sea of Thieves?
Colt doesn't have an Xbox anymore. Chris kept playing till like 2 a.m. every night, I'm sure. a wonderful game, and I know that's a game that like I wanted you to play as well, like with us. I think that would have been fun, but it's just so time consuming, you know. And like it gave me that MMO feel of questing with friends.
What does that mean?
Massively multiplayer online game. So an MMO is like typically a game where you have thousands of people on a server, and then you can like team up with them, form alliances, go questing, and that kind of thing. So it gave me that feel. It wasn't an MMO. You know, there was like 16, 20, 50 players in a server at a time, which, you know, isn't really a massively multiplayer online game, but it gave you that kind of feel of like you don't know what to expect. You're going to go on this quest and you may run into other people, you may not, yada yada. But it took like hours to play, and I don't have that much time, you know, like
yeah.
And even then, like when you were putting Eevee down and stuff, like it was taking a while before, so like, oh, I might have an hour to play or whatever. But 2-3 hours is what you got to dedicate to that game, and I don't have it, honestly.
Yeah, I get that.
So like a game like Dauntless, where you can pick it up for an hour and get a lot of stuff accomplished, is like much more my speed right now. And you know, thankfully everybody else enjoyed playing it as well, but I haven't been playing it as much. I'm trying to kind of branch out and play some other things, like I'm doing the Saturday morning cartoon streams on Twitch now, so I'm playing like a Darkwing Duck on Saturday, just waking up and playing that for like an hour, and that's really cool. Playing, that was my childhood, Darkwing Duck and Chippendale Rescue Rangers and DuckTales, all those NES games, and those are 2D platformers. Do you know what that means?
I have no idea.
Okay. So if you don't know something I say, like stop me and ask me, because I have no idea what you know or don't know. But a platformer is a game basically that mainly the main gameplay like mechanic is to jump from one surface to another. So think Mario.
Okay.
Like you're trying to get to the end level by jumping on different platforms or jumping on enemies. So that's a platformer versus like a shooter, which is shooting, or a puzzle game, you know. But that a platformer is pretty much what most of the games were back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, been playing a lot of that, and then I tried a new game called Warface for the Nintendo Switch. That's that realistic shooter game. You probably see me play a little bit lately. No.
I saw you playing something. I thought you were playing The Last of Us.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't. No, that was probably Warface. It's a first-person shooter.
It was just while I was walking through the room.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, it's a first-person shooters. I mean, it's the kind of where you run around and shoot people. That's it. I mean, it's like an online multiplayer deathmatch kind of game. It's not good. It's really like I'm playing a game from like 2006.
Really?
But not as good or polished.
Explain.
So, like, you've heard of Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like
from The Office.
That's like
I've seen clips of it, but like I don't. I saw this guy. I saw this guy wearing a Call of Duty shirt recently, and like all I could hear in my head was Karen Filippelli, and she's making the rock star, like the rock and roll sign with her hand, just Call of Duty. And it was like playing over my head until this guy left.
So that was
I'm sorry.
On Office. That was like 2005 maybe. They were playing Call of Duty 2.
Okay.
They just gave up with the numbers on that whole franchise because there were so many of them. So
really?
Oh yeah, there's one every year.
Oh, I didn't
since
know that.
Then. So there's Call of Duty 2, then there's Call of Duty 3, then 4, then which was subtitled Modern Warfare, then Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and then there's like all the World at War. There's been at least 20 of them, I'm pretty sure. Call of Duties. They come out.
Oh, it's like now that's what I call music. 88.
100%. Yes. It comes out every year, and it is the most mainstream game. I mean, it is. Like, there's a lot of people who like poo-poo it because like they think that they're like way better and just like some kind of higher echelon of gamer, and like Call of Duty's for like the mainstream, like the Grand Theft Auto player, blah blah blah, whatever. I say play what you like. It's obviously every year like one of the most popular shooting games. So this plays like in 2020 like Call of Duty played like in 2006 or 2007, but not even as polished. So it's like really taking a time warp back to that era of gaming, and it's free to play, but it's not like the good kind of free to play, like Dauntless or Asphalt 9 or Warframe. No, Warface is like the kind where you can earn rewards, but they're only temporary.
Can we talk about that name too?
It's
like
awful.
Like, oh, what do you want to name this? Warface.
It's
what
terrible.
In the world?
And I was thinking like maybe there's like an option for you to like paint your face, and like that song was like something cool, like when you killed somebody, like it'd show like your war. I don't know. Nothing. No, it's so generic.
It reminds me of this meme that I saw of the guy from shoot, now I can't think of the movie, but it's the movie. Like whenever somebody says, "What's it like to be a Marine?" They say,
You good man?
No.
Officer, gentleman?
Something about a jacket. Full metal jacket. Full metal jacket.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the drill instructor from that. And then like he says, "Show me your war face." And then like underneath that is a picture of a tiny little baby puppy dog. And he's like slightly like growling with one side of his lip up, and it's just adorable.
Yeah, this game isn't adorable.
Okay.
No. I would actually rather watch that meme than play this game. I don't like. There's some people going. I mean, the reason it's going to have success in the Nintendo Switch because it is the only game that really allows for that realistic military online shooter. That's 100% it. I mean, I really hope Call of Duty comes out, but and brings. It's just not going to happen though. Nintendo consoles are not known for their like mature militaristic level of games. Those games don't find the same level of success on Nintendo platforms as they do on other platforms. For whatever reasons, but yeah. Well, that's what I've been playing. You haven't played anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, you know what I plan for us to play this coming week?
Please tell me.
The NES.
Okay.
Why? Do you know what that is?
Not really.
You don't know.
It's just like a system, right?
Yeah.
Is it the little handheld one that you have?
No, that's the DS. The one I've been playing lately?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should have been talking about that game. But that's fine. We'll move on. I'll talk about it next week.
You can talk about it. There's no rules here.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's going to take a long time to delve into that. So we'll talk about the next week. I'll still be playing it this week. This is a 60-hour game. I'm an hour in.
Oh, Lord.
So the NES was the Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay. So it's this right here. NES Classic Edition.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it was wildly popular in the 80s, early 90s. That's when the original Super Mario Brothers came out. I mean, all right. So this right here has 30 classic games built into it. So we're just going to play through some of those, which are deemed to be, kind of the best and most popular games. The reason I like the NES Classic Edition is because it plays well on the HD. It's not the actual games. It's like ROMs. So ROM is just like a computer file that they've manipulated to play well on HD TVs. I feel like I'm like trying to sell this as a product, but I'm not. Nintendo didn't pay me. So we're gonna play some of that.
Maybe they should.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But we're gonna play that this week, and I want to get your take on what you think of that. That's what I grew up with, so I want to know what you feel about it. And then we'll go into the Super Nintendo, which you have played before when you were younger. You think possibly?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
At daycare.
Yeah.
So what would happen would be like, there was like 30 minutes of our day, because I didn't go to like a traditional daycare for a while. I would stay at this woman's house with a bunch of other kids. And she had like different little areas or whatever. And if you were good, there was like 30 minutes of the day where she would let some people play a video game like that. And I mean, it was a 13-inch TV, and her teenage son had upgraded to the next best video game system. And so she would take whatever it was and move it out like in the area that we could play it for a very limited time. And that was my experience with it.
How often did you get to play?
Not very often, because
so you weren't good
shockingly, I was such a quiet kid. And so I was never the one like muscling my way to the front. It was just kind of, if somebody got bored and left, I would pick it up and be like, what's this thing? You know?
See. All right.
But that's like how I remember, or I guess how I was introduced to Mario and Yoshi and things like that.
Well, we may just jog your memory on some of that stuff. Bring back some old nostalgic feelings.
Cool.
Or not, whatever.
All right.
And so before we talk about kind of like what I really want to talk about is VR games, you said that, we're just coming off of Valentine's Day. That was last week. And so you have a game.
I have a game for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
I'm testing your knowledge about video game couples.
Video game couples?
Yes.
Okay.
You ready? You want to play?
Like love? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because, February and love and stuff. And I don't really have a lot of knowledge to contribute, so I just thought I would quiz you on yours.
Did you just Google it?
I googled best video game couples.
Okay, cool.
And I had to sort because, like, some of them were just really weird, like, I don't know, amalgams of, like, very specific games and whatnot. And I think you may have seen some of these because while I was writing them down, you kept, like, walking through the room.
I didn't see them.
Okay.
So what's the game?
Well, so I think you should get bonus points if I can just say the title of the game and you can tell me both people.
Okay.
But because I will give you the game.
Okay.
And if you need an extra hint, I will give you one of the people.
So you give me the game and I try to say who the love interests of the game are?
The couple.
The couple.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool?
Okay, I think.
Well,
let's try one out. Try an easy one.
How about we start with a softball?
Okay.
Okay, the first one is Super Mario Brothers.
Mario and Toad. No?
No.
Mario and Princess Peach?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Do you know who Toad is, right?
Vaguely.
Oh, see, that would have killed.
I'm sure somebody's laughing.
Okay.
I'm sure someone thinks you're funny on that one.
Keep going.
Okay. Number 2. Halo 4.
Oh, I don't know. I never played Halo 4.
Okay, well...
No. I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Master Chief and Cortana.
Yeah.
Is that really? They were a couple, a love interest?
Apparently.
Yeah, I don't know.
Said this website.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Well, like, she, like, is like a artificial, like on the computers and the phones, where it's like Ask Cortana. Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah.
I had one of those for a
Yeah.
very brief time.
So Cortana came from the Halo series.
Really?
Yeah, because they're Microsoft. It's a Microsoft product.
Oh.
So Cortana from Halo 1 back in 2001 or whatever is artificial intelligence that lives inside of Master Chief's brain, basically. So it might just be a platonic couple. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to play that game, I think.
I don't know. It said love. I don't know. It
right.
makes me think of a book series that I read, and Cortana was the name of a sword. And so I thought it was cool.
That sounds like The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Don't worry, you'll play all of these things.
Oh, good. Okay, number 3.
Yep.
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, well, that's easy. That's Cloud Strife and oh snap!
Not so easy.
It is easy, but there's two different names, so it depends on if you're looking at the Japanese version. Or yeah.
That was me falling asleep.
Okay, it's either Aerith or Aerith, depending on who you ask.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we asked this person that said Aerith.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4. Another softball for you, I think, but Legend of Zelda.
There isn't one, and if it says Link and Zelda, that's totally wrong. Does it say Link and Zelda?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can think of maybe one game where Link and Zelda might seem like they're going to be a couple, but so Link is a different character in every single game. It's a different Link. Well, there's a couple that are direct sequels, but it's like the Link in Breath of the Wild is not the same Link as a Link in Wind Waker. He's basically reincarnated throughout the years. A hero of legend is born whenever there needs to be one. At the same time, Zelda is the name they give to every princess that's born. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, they're not love interests.
Okay, cool.
So that's wrong.
Okay. Fun times. All right, number 5. Gears of War.
Dominic and Maria.
Yeah.
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 What? Hey. Okay. This is fun.
Number 6. Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, I don't know her name. I mean, his name. They just call him the Wanderer. I don't even think he has a name. And then his old dead lady, he's trying to reincarnate. Does she have a name? What is it?
It says she has a name.
What is it?
Mono?
What's her name? His name?
Wander?
Wander and Mono? So, this thing in that game, your old lady dies.
Why do you keep saying old lady?
Battle axe dies. Ball and chain.
Do you refer to me as old lady to people?
No, not old lady. Old lady. OL apostrophe.
Listen, I think we need to turn the mic off and have a conversation.
So, your beautiful, wonderful other half.
It's getting better.
Perishes. And then, this obviously evil being's like, yo, you need to go kill all these huge, delicate monsters.
He said yo. Or was like, oi.
That's exactly what he said.
Oh, snap.
And so then he kills all his monsters, and then she gets reincarnated or something. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played that game. But her name's Mono? Okay, cool.
That's what it says.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I don't know.
All right.
Played that game 10 years ago. But I knew his name was Wanderer.
Number 7.
Okay.
Like the movie, man. Skyrim.
Oh, no idea. Literally 0 ideas.
They had limited ideas too.
What is it? Player 1?
Kind of.
Your created player and...
Yeah. It says Dragonborn and Spouse.
Oh, gosh.
I know. I almost didn't include it.
But it's hilarious. I'm glad you did.
It's kind of funny. His old lady.
Yes. Old.
His old apostrophe lady.
That's right.
Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Uncharted series.
Okay. That's Drake. Why'd you look at me like that? You gave me a look. Okay.
Go ahead and finish.
And Elena.
This is Nathan and Elena.
Nathan Drake.
Oh. Are you?
Because it's called Drake's Fortune.
Are you expecting me to interpret some information?
Yeah. You should just know these things.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm the noob.
Nathan, Drake, and Elena.
Okay, cool. Number 9, Half-Life 2.
Gordon Freeman and Alex?
Yes.
Yeah?
Except not in slow motion. All right. Our final one.
Okay.
I wish we had some dramatic music.
We can add it in editing.
In post.
Yeah. Yes.
Why did you?
Do we have somebody to do that?
No.
Let me call somebody. If anybody can add things into post, I need like a dunk dunk. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Final Fantasy 8.
Ooh. I can tell you one of them, I'm sure, is Squall Lionheart. I do not know the name. Like, he's the main character. I don't know the name of his love interest. Sarah.
You're so close.
Jessica. I don't know.
I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to say it with confidence anyway.
Okay.
Renoa.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, that's actually one of the few Final Fantasy games I've never played, but obviously know the main character.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That was fun. What was that? What did I score? I got 2 wrong.
You scored a
3 wrong.
gold sticker.
3 wrong. Yes.
Proud of you.
Thank you. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Cool.
You should do that more often.
We will.
Or like,
So that I can talk a little bit during these.
what do you mean?
Well, I don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, sure you do.
You're kind of hosting, and you've got all the information.
No, you got a lot to talk about.
Okay, cool.
Like VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So VR was something I played at Colt's house. I mean, not quite a year ago, but almost a year ago, and I came back enamored with it. Right? I was
Correct.
like, whoa, there's this thing called VR. I need it in my life. I'm gonna start saving up for it. So like every gift opportunity you had, you gave me a gift card at Best Buy. You had other people give me gift cards to Best Buy, so I could save up for a PS4 Pro, and then so I could save up for the PlayStation VR. And I had very limited like time with it whenever you played it as well. So like I'm gonna compare it to like the same thing as going from like old 2D games to 3D games. You know, you could be like very well versed in 2D games like the old Marios and stuff like that, but you jump into these 3D worlds, I mean, you're at the same level as somebody who's not really, you know, into gaming all that much. So, you know, I think it's a good opportunity for us to kind of talk about our experiences with it. And there's been a few experiences specifically that I want to talk about. Now, we talked about one time that dogfighting space mission game, which you were just like, that's not my cup of tea, you know, because you had to have an intricate knowledge of the controller and stuff like that. But
Correct.
Other games where you don't have to have the intricate knowledge, I think, are ones that we're kind of both on the exact same page. And the first one I want to talk about is Beat Saber. So what is Beat Saber in your opinion? Like, how would you describe it to somebody?
It's kind of like you're holding lightsabers, and you have to slice through these 3D cubes coming at you in a particular way. So part of the game is like the cubes will have a down arrow on them, and so you have to use your lightsabers to slice them in a downward motion. Or if they're a sideways arrow, you have to go in the right direction, or an up arrow, or whatever. But it's all set to like exciting music the whole time. And so if you're playing correctly, you're hitting these cubes on the beat and accumulating points, and all the while you're like dodging the obstacles. Yeah,
it's pretty intense. I mean, so yeah, you gave a very good synopsis of kind of like what it is. It's basically Guitar Hero or Rock Band in virtual reality, and you're having to slice through. You've heard of those games at least, right?
I've heard of them. I've never played them.
I mean, you're tapping buttons to music as it comes downward in, like, you know, in a 2D plane towards you. But this is coming right at you. I mean, it's almost like sometimes you feel like they're going to hit you and you have to like dodge out of the way. But the music choice is it's all very, very upbeat. There's some music that you can buy, but it's all like a lot of like kind of techno-y kind of, you know, dance exercise music. The whole reason I wanted to get it was because I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to do something fun, play a game, lose weight. And we just haven't been playing it that much lately, honestly. And it's not because it's a bad game.
No, I can't wait to play it again.
So why don't you play it again?
I am exhausted when I get home from work, and then it's eat dinner, do bedtime with daughter, and all of that. And by the time I sit down, I just collapse.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. Yep.
Well, and that's typically like when I, do the whole bedtime routine with the daughter. Then like you are taking that opportunity to play other games with your friends or whatever.
Right.
And then,
And then
I come out of her room, you say, okay, guys, talk to you later. And then we get to talk about our day for like 5 minutes before we go to sleep.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, we really should kind of like make a time every week to play that game or something, like, because I've talked about making that part of like a workout routine.
Right.
Just making the time to do it. Because it's just so much fun.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. I could play the game for an hour straight. I'm tired. You're breathing heavy. I mean, it's awesome.
It's fun to see how different people play it too. Like typically when you play it, you're dancing while you're, slicing things.
Feeling the rhythm.
With this fake lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like Chris is a dancer, in very different forms.
Yeah.
And like, I think, when Corey was playing, she thought she was moving a lot, but wasn't.
Yeah.
And then when I'm playing, like, my legs are sore the next day because you would think I was training to be a ninja or something.
Yeah. You definitely move with purpose when you're playing that
I
game.
move with purpose.
Yes, 100%.
And I feel it. And there's something about, like, wearing that headset that makes me feel like I'm not being judged enough to really play with
like
purpose.
Like the Masked Singer.
Yeah.
You're like the Masked Singer. That's what they always say. I just felt like I was free.
This gave me so much freedom to be myself.
Yeah.
I don't know why we made them all Southern bells.
That's what they all sound like to me. So, like, yeah, you put on that, you're in a different world just for a time.
And you feel it.
Yeah, 100%. You escape in, you got your headphones on, you hear and see this world that they've presented to you, and I think that's what makes it so exciting and so different than anything else. Like, I really do feel it is not the future of video games, VR, but it needs to stay, and it needs to progress, and it needs to get better, because right now there's wires in the PSVR, and there's things that do take you out of the experience.
That's my one complaint.
Yeah. Well, other, like, the Oculus Quest, I think is the other big one. It's like $400. There's no wires. You just put it on your head and you go. You don't even have to hook it up to a computer or anything. So, I mean, I think within the next 5 years or so, it's gonna be legit. It's gonna be awesome. Like I said, not the future, but definitely an avenue, like, to go along with games and systems and PC and all that kind of stuff. But we also played a couple other games. For sure, I want to talk about is the first one you played. Do you remember the first one you played?
The ocean one.
The ocean one. So it was on PlayStation Worlds or VR Worlds. Yeah, there's one that's called Ocean Adventure, like the Descent, where you're descending down and you're one of those like shark cages. And I still haven't played that one with the shark coming at you.
You need to.
Yeah, I know I do need to, because that's the one like, we put several people in front of it.
Right.
It was just wonderful seeing their reactions, and you had no idea what to expect, really. Like, there's one thing is somebody telling you're just going down the ocean, and it's called, like, Shark Attack. So you kind of got a vibe, but,
Well, it's not called Shark Attack.
What's it called?
It's called Shark Encounter.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I'm incorrect, but I think it's called Shark Encounter.
And so
I did not know that it was going to be attacking me.
that everything was going to be ripped away and it was going to start attacking you. 'Cause
I've never been so scared in my living room.
Yeah. It was great to watch.
Thank you.
I do have a video of that for sure. Don't worry.
But it's so weird because you're sitting in your chair and you know it's not real. You know that it's not because you're sitting in your chair in your air-conditioned living room facing a TV, but you're wearing a headset and you're in this shark cage. And then suddenly, this shark is like rattling the cage and does the headset like rumble? Is that a thing? Or does my brain just make that up?
It may just be like so loud that it creates like a vibration. It might rumble. I don't know.
But you kind of feel it, you know? There's a moment of like the shark hits the cage and you're like, I just got jostled,
Yeah.
And then like at one point the shark eats the door off, essentially. And you're just exposed. And this shark is circling you. And you feel like you're going to die. My heart was racing. My palms were sweaty. And I know it's not real. And it was the strangest thing.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that video where the grandmother is playing VR and she gets scared and she whips a gun out of her purse and starts shooting the ceiling and her family is surrounding her and like hits the floor. Like, it's a strange sensation.
Yeah, because without your cognition, right, without your conscious mind being able to tell you what you're in is fake, otherwise, I mean, your brain has receiving all the information to make you feel that it's real, right?
Totally.
Auditory, visually. And there's been a lot of games that I've played. So there was that, The Kitchen, which was basically kind of like an intro to Resident Evil 7. And, you know, we talked about that before, but like I had to turn away and I couldn't even look at what was in front of me because it was so terrifying, you know? Like,
yeah.
And I knew that was fake. And that person's not really trying to stab me or whatever, you know? There's been other ones like Rush of Blood. So you haven't played that one. I don't think you're going to because it's kind of scary. But you're going through, I guess, like an abandoned like theme park on like what you'd be sitting if you're going on a roller coaster, and you have guns and you're shooting zombies or whatever that's coming out at you. But there are moments in that where you are going upwards like you would on a roller coaster, you know. And then you hit the top and you're like, you have the same level of anxiety or fear, you know, trepidation that you would have going down a roller coaster in real life. And even though your head's facing forward, you feel like you're looking straight down, you know, like, and I think even maybe you may compensate and lean forward and look down just because you think that's what but your brain's feeling the same thing that you would feel in real life. It's crazy. Well, really cool game too.
And I think that Ocean Adventure does a good job of like, it doesn't immediately put you into a scary scenario.
Oh yeah.
It draws you in with the marvel of just like descending because you're seeing all of this ocean life around you and like looking at how beautiful it is. And, you know, at one point it like, there's a lantern attached to your metal cage. And so as you're descending, you're going through some tight squeezes and you kind of feel that like, instead of this vast ocean around you like before, now we are in a tight space and the light flickers and, you know, they kind of slowly get you into this mindset of, am I still safe?
Right. Those little tropes
like,
of fear.
Yes. It was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing and beautiful and wonderful. And then all of a sudden light flickers and the people in your headset that are helping you now, they're trying not to sound nervous, but you can tell that they are. Yeah. That kind of thing.
And the lights go out, but then, oh, there's beautiful jellyfish all around. So it's okay, scary, but then immediately, oh, okay, I'm in awe.
Right.
And then you go into like a cavern. And, you know, yeah, it's definitely does a really good job of kind of easing you into it. Other games on that do not. It's on that VR world. It's like, my biggest problem with PlayStation VR is that I can't play some games because I get motion sick super duper easy, and it's called getting your VR legs. It's something that you can accommodate to, but you have to play it frequently and often to accommodate yourself so that you don't get sick. But I can't play Skyrim VR because it makes me immediately nauseous because my brain, I'm sitting in a chair, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I should be standing up. That'd probably take a lot of it out. Because if you're sitting in a chair, your brain is getting all this somatosensory input, all this physical input to your brain saying, I'm sitting in a chair. Your brain knows you're sitting in a chair, and then all of a sudden you're getting the visual stuff that you're not sitting in a chair. Your brain doesn't know what to do, so it just freaks out and makes you nauseous. I mean, that's essentially it.
So I haven't had that experience with VR. But do you think that's because of the games I'm playing?
It's because of the games you played.
Okay.
Absolutely. So if you played, like there's this luge game, that would be one. Like you're on a luge going down streets, like dodging cars and stuff like that. You're doing, you know, you got your head down, your neck down, you're looking down, and you're just trying your hardest, like not to get hit by a car or whatever. But if you like do anything other than that movement, like you immediately like start to feel nauseous. Some people don't though. It depends on. I think it just depends on your vestibular system and how trained it is. But Yeah, for me, especially ones where I'm sitting down and trying to move my character in real time. Oof. It makes me nauseous thinking about it. Because it's not like a normal kind of nauseous. They call it simulation sickness is what it's called.
Did you have that experience with Astrobot?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. And I really don't think anybody would have that experience with Astrobot. The only thing that I had with Astrobot was similar to like when I first started watching 3D movies, was like a little bit of kind of like blurry vision, a little bit, maybe a little disorientation, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad enough, and then I got accustomed to it. But that's like the other game I wanted to talk about, because that's a game that you've played a lot more than me now at this point. And it's a platformer. That's, we were talking about earlier. That's your main goal, is to jump from one platform to another, collecting things, right? Rings or whatever, and trying to get to the end of the level, collecting little other robot dudes and stuff. That is a really cool game. I want to play more of that.
That one is super fun, and it's very pretty.
It is very pretty. It's simplistic in nature, right?
Yes.
Like the design. So what do you like about it?
I mean, this sounds dumb, but it's got, all the little friendly colors, and it's a little bit like Yoshi. I don't feel like something bad is about to happen all the time. Although it does have elements of like suspense and adrenaline and whatever. I don't know. It's just brightly colored, and it's got a cute little robot, and you're collecting other robots and coins, and it's kind of got that puzzle aspect to it of I have to figure this out, a little bit like Yoshi too.
So that environmental puzzles is one of my favorite things in games.
I guess it's mine too.
Yeah, I mean it's fun, right? Like,
yeah,
because it's fun without violence,
right?
Right, it's fun without like multiplayer. The need to like, the only thing you're competing with is the terrain, the puzzle that they've set in front of you,
right?
So you get a very satisfactory feeling when you actually complete it and do well with it. And sometimes it's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
But there was one time, well, two things really. So I remember the first time I had to walk a tightrope in that game, because you're kind of playing right behind your little robot icon, whatever. But as he's crossing this tightrope, I mean, it is clouds underneath you. It's as if you're way up high in these cliffs in the sky. And so, like, when you're crossing a tightrope, all you see is clouds, and that's it. There's nothing underneath you. And I remember feeling like some anxiety about that. Like, oh my gosh, what if I fall? But I don't even remember my other point. Never mind.
But it's like you're experiencing, like, you're looking over, because you can, it's essentially like you're the camera. You're controlling this guy, and your head is the camera, so you can turn all the way around 360 degrees. You can lean forward. You can look down and see the sky below you.
Yeah.
And you can get the same feeling of anxiety as if you were really standing at the edge of a cliff.
Right. Yeah. I remembered what I was going to say. It was that there was a certain part in the game, because it is all the way around you. And whenever your little person goes behind you, the screen doesn't correct, so you have to turn around and look. And I don't know how long that one time I was turned around, but I was sitting in this chair, and apparently I was just turned around looking at you on the couch.
Yeah, I got a video of that too.
For a while. And I'm just, facing you, like behind me, playing this little game.
And I can see everything on the TV. That's the beauty of the PSVR, PlayStation VR, is that I could watch exactly what you're seeing on the TV screen.
Yeah.
So like you were staring at me, but I could see what exactly.
But you knew what I was doing.
100%, yeah. And I love that, because it makes it somewhat of a collaborative gaming experience rather than you just being isolated in your own world. Like even when you're playing Beat Saber or games where somebody's about to get scared, you can see it from a different perspective. I think that's a really cool aspect of it, and that's why I like the PlayStation VR, like version of VR specifically. So are there any things that you want to play that you're curious about? Have you done any research on your own about games for it, anything like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should.
Maybe. So I purchased the game a while back because it's normally like $40, and it was on sale for like $7.99, and I have yet to play it. It's called Moss, and it's like highly acclaimed, well received critically, and everybody's played it. It's really enjoyed it. It's a game, think like Astrobot, where you control the camera and just with your head, and then you're actually controlling a little mouse that's running around these like lush environment levels. So it's kind of like that. I think you would really, really like it. This little mouse, I can't remember her name you're controlling. Dang it. But she had like a little sword, and she's fighting enemies, but you can help using your controller to like manipulate objects, and it's the same kind of thing. And I'm really, really excited to play through that. That's come highly recommended from a lot of people. So I think that should be our next. Well, we need to beat Astrobot too, and Beat Saber. There's a lot of games. And Audica, what's it called?
I think it's called Audica.
I think something like that. From the guys who actually made Rock Band, Harmonix, the guys who made Rock Band and Guitar Hero. They made a game for it as well. I really want to play that.
Is that the boxing one?
No. It's like you have guns and...
Oh, yeah.
It's more like popular songs and you're like shooting things to the guns, but there's some boxing ones too.
Okay. I remember we were looking up some workout ones.
Yeah. Back when we had this idea that we had all this extra time and to work out and do this and that. Yeah. Well, anywho, so this week, before the next podcast, we're going to be playing some NES games.
Okay.
I'm really excited. Like, really excited for you to kind of... Because they're simpler in nature.
I'm not laughing at you.
I'm just very excited.
I find your excitement adorable.
It's amazing to see you, like, how you take these games in.
Okay.
So, going back to the basics, when people are playing these games and they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old or whatever, like, I think you're going to be able to understand them a lot better because you're just running on a two-dimensional plane. There's really not a whole lot to most of it.
Okay.
So, I think I've always said, like, if I have a kid, that's the first thing I'm doing is I'm starting that on like 8 or 16-bit stuff. So they have like an appreciation for the older games, So, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, I want you to have this appreciation for these older games. I want you to see kind of what Yoshi evolved from,
Okay.
But we'll see how you enjoy it. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my concern.
What's your concern?
You're introducing me to all these systems and all these games.
Yeah.
So that I'll acquire this knowledge.
Yep.
What's going to happen when I'm not the noob anymore? Am I going to get replaced? We
Maybe.
just started this.
Maybe. I've been talking to Colt. I think by the time that you're actually, like, because you're not gaming every day.
No.
I mean, not nearly at all. And I think by the time that you would actually not be a noob anymore, like, at that time, we'll just have our daughter come in. I mean, she's 3 now, but about 10 years or so, I'm guessing.
Hey, you make it sound like I'm a slow learner.
Well, no, you're just not. I mean, if I gave you, like, an MMO, like, if I gave you World of Warcraft, like, Penny on...
Oh, gosh.
Was it Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. I have that.
You would get into it. I know. You
yeah.
would learn it and you'd be amazing at that game.
I have an obsessive personality for sure.
So that's like one of the things I've actually thought about. Like, I want to introduce you to a game and like I want you to play it, but then I'm like, ooh, what if she's like becomes that person
a little too intense?
Yeah, and then like it's like you don't even want to hang out with me. You just want to play that. I can see that happening. Where you're like, yeah, but I gotta see like. My concern is Animal Crossing. We talked about that last week. Do you remember we talked about Animal Crossing?
Yes, a little bit.
So that comes out March.
I saw somebody commented and said that I would like that.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, I think. But if we both get it, so they just recently came out with a Nintendo Direct of Animal Crossing, and that's basically Nintendo's like infomercial to sell their products to you. It's where we learn about a lot about games. So they came out like a 30-minute Nintendo Direct about the new Animal Crossing coming out and showcasing all these things, and people are so excited about it. I'm not. I don't care. But I just can't get into that series. I don't know why. But like, if you played it, and I had somebody to play with, kind of like Stardew Valley, it's like you create your own.
Yeah, that went well.
But still, so. if you created your own little land or world, I mean, and then I have my own too, my islands or whatever, but I could come over to yours. You know, you could come to mine. We could play together, but it wouldn't be like where we're always together playing at the same time. You know, it would give you that opportunity to create and develop your own world. You have this island, and I'm really not great at explaining what that game is because I don't even truly understand it, even though I've tried to play a lot. It's The Sims, but cartoon cutesy. I feel like it's not based in the real world, but it's The Sims.
It sounds like right up my alley.
Yeah, no, I think it is, and that's where I think the first problem we're gonna have with, like, because I mean, I'm just gonna like put this out there, let the record show that I'll be playing a game and you come in the room and I'm like, I'm done with it.
100%. I'm
like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go spend time with Steph.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
But I don't think that you would be that way if you really got into Animal Crossing. I think I'm gonna be like, yeah,
5 more minutes.
Here,
5 more minutes.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure how that's all gonna go, but I do want to. That's a game I think I'm gonna have to double dip on. If I buy it digitally, we can both play it for the price of one. But if I buy it physically, I can sell it twice down the road. So we'll see how it all goes.
Hunting them games.
Anyways, okay. Check out my song Dauntless coming up in just 1 second. If you have a game that you think that Steph should play or that we should play together, please comment below.
We want to know.
We do want to know. Yeah. All right. Happy hunting, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Chain blaze, drain the flames in the blazing plains while the slayer slays and behemoth stays for days while I play and play.
1, 2, 3, hammer hit him in the nose. Strike him once more, knock him right up off his toes. Couple more hits out your back and I reload. Then I call an airstrike and I watch his fool explode. I'm dauntless, I'll be breaking apart. I'm dauntless, always taking that hard. I'm dauntless, go for the head. I'm dauntless, yeah, you heard what I said. Click, clack, repeaters patch up on my back. Sit back, relax, and hear the crack of my strap. You can hear the thunder while I bring in the rain, and you ain't gotta have a blade to administer the pain.
Cut through you like a delicate linen while I'm swinging. Wishing it's the end, boy, it's only the beginning. Thinking while I'm spinning how your brother in a thin, and then I win in the end and begin once again.
I'm dauntless, I'll be breaking apart. I'm dauntless, always taking that hard. I'm dauntless, go for the head. I'm dauntless, yeah, you heard what I said.
This here's meant for the dearly departed. 50%, then I just nearly started. Targets are part of the start of a hunt, and I carve them apart while I'm slaughtering them.
Somebody stop me before the nerve me. Behemoths on that ass, say, Lord, don't hurt me. I hate to interrupt y'all, but y'all know what's up. My bunch of sisters out with all these monsters fall.
I'm dauntless, I'll be breaking apart. I'm dauntless, always taking that hard. I'm dauntless, go for the head. I'm dauntless, yeah, you heard what I said.
Jab and a stab as a stab and a hab as a drop as I swing and I stop and a tonic. I pop back to the hard cuff from the front while I roll to the back and resume my attack.
Man, look at y'all doing all this violence. I'm over here picking flowers in the silence. Dash leaving violence. This'll let me try this. Take it back to the gate and build me some pylons. I'm dauntless, I'll be breaking apart. I'm dauntless, always taking that hard. I'm dauntless, go for the head. I'm dauntless, yeah, you heard what I said. I'm dauntless. I'm dauntless.